Hi Aquarius, welcome to yet another astro reel for you. As you know, you don't have to have any particular Aquarian placements in your natal chart in order for these messages to be for you, and you don't have to be watching at the time that I'm publishing this video in order for the messages to resonate with you. If it resonates, then yay! Of course, contemplate, use your discernment, as you should be doing with everything these days until the rest of your life, because it's just the age that we're in. And if something doesn't resonate, I would invite you to take a step back, allow the energies to unfold, and then come back and see how they fit into your life, if at all, okay? If you'd like to work more personally with me, with your ascension, your awakening, that moment when so many words come through, your awakening process, if you're just wondering about something in your life, we do it all here. From relationships to past lives to clearing attachments to deprogramming to intuitive counseling, energy healing, light codes, template work, all the fun stuff. 1 minute, 11 seconds. Get it, God? All right. So let's jump in, Aquarius. Who are you and what's going on? Interestingly, when I said, who are you, which is an interesting question to ask, 1 minute, 22 seconds, I heard the Mad Hatter. Okay, so just goes to show you, I'm getting this energy to ask you, aren't you tired of being the Mad Hatter? Aren't you tired of being, wearing so many, I'm trying to think, what does the hat represent here in this energy? There it is. You are quite the shapeshifter, Aquarius. We know this. Now, some of you may be like, I hear that all the time, and what does that even mean? And remember, you don't have to have any specific or significant Aquarian placements for these messages to be for you, right? Some of you may be like, I totally get that. I'm always changing myself, blah, blah. But just so you know, from an energy perspective, because, that's where I work in your beautiful fields, what shape-shifting looks like from an energetic perspective, it looks, from what I've seen with clients, it looks like this. It's like moving. And sometimes if you see it, it'll like hide. It'll like move to another part of your body, right? And you will manifest or experience that through your physical body as maybe feeling a little bit like a trickster energy. You may be able to switch on and off with people. If you may be conscious if you feel someone seeing you, like if you feel seen, you might put a mask on. So there are certain things that we do every day behaviorally that are very, very obvious in the energy field. And it's so obvious that sometimes I see it, the shift right then and there, and I'll ask, wait, hold on. Did you just feel yourself switch mode a bit? And people will be like, yeah, I felt it. Okay, well, that's what's happening in your energy field. And the healing, the understanding, the shift in consciousness comes when you are aware of that, and then you try to understand, you feel into why it is, what moved you to make that shift. Because I'm getting, the reason, I'm like, why am I explaining all this to you? But the reason why I'm explaining this to you is because I feel that some of you are being asked or tasked right now with, right? You're being asked to take a look at how your shifting nature, 3 minutes, 33 seconds, has, there are two things that are popping up, has reared itself in your relationships. I'm getting some of you may even be divorced. And if you look back, you'll see that how you contributed to this connection. We're not looking at the other person, but how you contributed to these connections of yours is your shifting nature, right? I'm also getting the second situation for some of you here is that there's a it almost feels like a pattern. Thank you. I was going to say, it almost feels like you're impressing that upon your baby, your child, your however old this child is, right? But I said thank you because the guide said pattern of behavior. And we already know from a psychological standpoint how people in your environment, especially your caregivers, can imprint on you and can condition you to act in a certain way. And that's why on this channel, we're very big about reclaiming your power and your sovereignty. And the way to do that is not some airy-fairy, big, this, that ritual. It's about just understanding, hey, conditioning here, 4 minutes, 44 seconds. Let's take a look at what you're doing and let's bring some mindfulness into that moment. we're understanding why, what's causing this, and what's leading to this, and blah, 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 how you usually react. And then we try to identify, how can I interrupt this pattern? That's the mindfulness. When you're not mindful, you're just on autopilot. You're in gut reaction mode, right? And so this is the difference between being asleep and awake, right? So anyway, now is the time for you guys, whoever you are, and I'm getting music featuring here right now for somebody that made me think about someone in particular. I haven't spoken to you in a long time. Your name starts with an M. God bless. M is in Miami, right? I almost said the name. But anyway, it doesn't have to be you, but I mean, it is you, but there are other people that fall into this energy as well. But what I want to say is that now you're being tasked with taking a look at this shifty nature of yours. Some of you may experience this shiftiness as being, this is the word coming, wow. There are 3 words that are coming, and they're coming along 3 different frequencies, but are tying together in some way. I don't know which is for you guys, but one of those words is vagabond. Another word is vagrant, and another word is migrant. So all of those 3 words are feeling appropriate in this collective that is watching here, that I'm reading for. Now, which of those words ties in for you in particular, whoever you are, is going to be the realm of a personal reading, or you will probably be like, oh, that one's me, right? But either way, long story short, this shifty energy that we're seeing, it's time to step out of playing that role. It's almost like never being seen, right? Very Aquarian. Aquarius, you guys are the ghosters of the zodiac. And I know I'm saying this with my Venus in Aquarius. How does my Venus in Aquarius contend with my multiple Libran placements and hopeless romantic self? Like, and then also ghosting and like, I gotta go. But I'm not a ghoster, but well, maybe. Okay, sorry, maybe. Okay, anyway, guys, focus, okay? Another musical reference. For a minute there, I was like conducting, right? Ending the thing there. But long story short, it's time to clean up. And here's the compassionate appeal to those of you who are having this, especially when it comes to your relations with other people. The compassionate question is this: wouldn't you like to finally be the one who gets to fall? Whether it's that fall in love. It could also be the taking the fall I'm seeing as Alice in Wonderland, right? Because, the Mad Hatter is one of the characters who is there along her journey. Imagine how many people the Mad Hatter crosses. How many people on their journeys this person crosses. So this is telling me some of you may be taking a back seat to being the star in your life, a back seat. At some point you have to wonder, okay, well, how come all these people keep passing my table, my booth, did they have tea, right? And aren't you a little bit curious as to what paths these people are taking? You want to get up from the table and look down the road, like where are all these people going? Where's the curiosity for you? So when we talk about Alice falling down the rabbit hole, to me, this is a very clear idea that for some of you, awakening is about to take a certain turn, if that is what you would like. Remember, there are many levels to your awakening. Awakening within the dream is basically, and as I said, that was 8 minutes, 44 seconds, and I got like some covert, 8 and 44, 4 and 4 is 8, we know that, but for a minute there, it was almost like the 4-4 was code, like a hidden code to show 8. So this is telling me that everyone has a chance if they desire. There's no right, no wrong, no judgment. It's just whether you want it or not. Some people want to live out a life in a character they've made for themselves, and they want to stay that way, right? And some, maybe they're bored now and they're ready to awaken, or they have an opportunity, something happens and now they can't help but awaken. What is awakening? It's starting to become more aware. When you start to become more aware, it's about looking at the structure of your reality. And when you start to have those kinds of questions, there has to be a rabbit hole somewhere, right? And then we have the Alice falling down, and you may start to see, images that, our collective conscious mind has been programmed with, whether it's Follow the White Rabbit with Neo, remember, in the beginning of the first Matrix, or it could be Alice in Wonderland with that white rabbit, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, you know me, I'm like, let's take a step back from all the discourse, 10 minutes, 10 seconds, all these things that have been, implanted, predictive programming in many ways, right? And start to just keep it simple. If you ever feel like, for those of you who do choose to kind of go down this, I want to learn more about myself, and you can totally do that, and it takes you to therapy, it takes you to all this and that, and all of those are very important. But for some of you, you're not at that space. You're at the space of like, well, I want to find out more about these other dimensions. I want to find out more about, what's going on beyond this planet. I want to find out more. You're at a different space in your awakening process. And if your awakening process leads you down that path where your disconnection from reality as we know it is so, how can I say it? It's like, it's not just undoing certain beliefs like, oh, I realized that I am worthy, and I realized I grew up in a home where I wasn't seen, and well, I am. It's not that. It's like, oh, shoot, I'm literally seeing different realities stacked upon, there's phenomena that you start to experience. And then your guides will step in and you start to, right? For those people, I want to remind you that if that's where your journey goes, that you want to make sure that you're as grounded as possible. And remember that when you're trying to develop yourself in this way, 11 minutes, 44 seconds, take the drama and the stuff out of it. It's not, I want to escape the matrix and I want to go here and I want to do, it's not that. Because where are you escaping? Where are you going? You're still in the physical body. So, and it's not like I want to reach the 8th heaven. And like all of this is just so unnecessary. Just start with, I would like to understand more about myself. Who am I? What do I enjoy? What are my passions? And if I'm looking at this and it's taking me here, I remember I can always come back and ground myself. I can put 2 hours in, maybe I'll dedicate 4 hours a week to doing my little deep dives. It doesn't have to be all day, every day. Oh my God, guess what, guys? Right? That's all too much, right? So please understand that it's got to be like a mixture. And that's for those of you who are like really getting into like, disconnect player kind of place, but that's not everybody. For some of you here who are getting to that place where it's like, wow, I really do need to look at myself right now and see how I'm shifting from one thing into the other. When we shift a lot, it's always good to understand, what am I shifting out of and where am I shifting to, and what is the function of this shift? Because a lot of the times when I see this shift, the shape shifting going on inside of a person's field, they're moving out of a space of being seen, because on some level being seen carries a certain trauma for them. So now we're into healing work again, right? Past life healing, current life healing. Sometimes it's about them wanting to be able to operate outside of their integrity. They don't want to be seen, because if they're seen, then they have to own up to what they're doing, and they don't want to do that because they want to continue doing what they want to do, right? So the function is important. For some people, they're even pointing out it's a learned response. Learned response. The client's like super here for it, like, hey, I want to know. But this aspect of them out of trauma has learned to shift when seen, because guess what? Maybe it has a negative association. So when we see it, because it's like right there, it's like, hey, it's like, right? And so long story short, if this message is for you, God bless your buttons. We all love you. We love all of you too, because we all have different, multiple aspects to us. Wherever you find yourself in your awakening process, right? And there's no better or worse. If you can understand and you see your trajectory across lifetimes, you'll understand there's a curriculum here, right? So stop comparing yourselves. There's a plan here. I want you to know, wherever you find yourself, please keep your feet on the ground. Make sure you have compassion towards yourself. This looks like self-acceptance. No matter what pops up, oh, okay, of course that happened and I acted that way or whatever, but I still love myself. Moving on. All right. Anyway, you know where to find me if you need to work together. Mwah.